Let's enjoy masterpieces. Happy readers. Grade 1. Beauty and the Beast.
Once there was a rich merchant in a big town. He had many ships. They brought lots of gold from all over the world. He also had 3 daughters. The 2 elder sisters thought that they were the prettiest. They would only wear expensive dresses. They would only think about marrying rich men. The youngest daughter was different. She was the most beautiful daughter. In fact, everything about her was beautiful. This is why her name was Beauty. One day, the rich merchant suddenly lost everything. All of his ships sank. Now he only had a small country house. The old merchant told his daughters what happened. Beauty said to her father, "Please don't cry. We have each other and our good health. Money is not important." Her sisters started to pull their hair out. "Oh, father!" the eldest daughter cried. "What will we do now?" "You'll have to work," he said very sadly. The middle daughter was angry and said, "We can't work. No rich man will want to marry us." "Let's go to town," said the eldest daughter. "We'll marry the first man that proposes." The 2 eldest daughters put on their best dresses. They went to town and looked for husbands. But everyone knew about the merchant's bad luck. The middle daughter said to one man, "I'm ready to be married." "I only wanted to marry you for your money," said he. Another man said to the eldest daughter, "I changed my mind because you don't have any money." But one man ran to Beauty and said, "Please marry me. We could live happily together." But she couldn't leave her father. "My father is old. I have to stay with him." The family moved to the country house. The elder sisters didn't stop complaining. They never did any work. But Beauty worked hard every day. "If I don't work, my father will be hungry," she thought. One day, her father came home with a big smile. "I just heard some good news," he said. "One of my ships didn't sink. It's bringing back lots of gold for us. We'll be rich again." Beauty smiled at her father. "That's great news. I'm so glad to see you happy again." The 2 elder sisters jumped up for joy. "We're rich! We're rich!" they shouted. The next morning, Beauty's father woke up early. He had to meet his ship at the port. "Goodbye, girls. I'm going to the port," he said. The elder sisters jumped out of bed and ran to him. "We had to eat bad food and wear ugly clothes," they said. "Will you bring us a present?" "We want some chocolates and some silk dresses." "Okay, I'll bring you back what you want," he said. "What about you, Beauty? What can I get for you?" Beauty didn't want anything. She was happy just because she could see her father happy. She only thought of one simple thing. "Just bring me a rose," she said. Then the merchant said goodbye to them and left. The old man walked to the port. It took him more than a week. When he got there, he heard some terrible news. His last ship had no money on it. Pirates robbed it. They had taken everything. Beauty's father fell to the ground and started to cry. "I must be cursed," he thought. Sadly, he started to walk back home. Chapter 2. Why did you steal my rose? When the old man walked home, the weather became terribly cold. The old man was sad and very cold. He thought it would be so miserable to sleep in the cold. As the sun was setting, the merchant saw a castle. "Maybe there's a nice prince in that castle. He'll give me a bed tonight," he said. When he came to the gates of the castle, he yelled, "Hello?" Nobody answered him. He looked through a window and saw a fire in the fireplace. Next to the fireplace was a table. On the table were a roasted chicken with potatoes, cake, and hot coffee. The food looked so delicious, and the castle looked so warm. He walked in, sat down, and ate all of the food. After supper, he laid down on a comfortable bed and went to sleep. When the old man woke up in the morning, he felt very good. He saw the table was set with a big breakfast. The old merchant felt grateful to the owner of the castle. He didn't know who he was, but he was saved from a cold and hungry night. The old man decided to go and thank the owner. He walked all around the house. He saw a lot of beautiful furniture and big rooms, but he didn't see anybody. So he thanked the empty castle. "Thank you," he yelled, "whoever you are." When he left, the old man saw a garden. There were some rose bushes. He remembered Beauty's request. As soon as the old man picked a rose, he heard a loud growl. The merchant jumped up and saw a beast running toward him. "You dirty little thief," the beast growled. "I gave you food and a bed, and what do? You steal my roses. Now you're going to pay for it. I'm going to kill you." Thump, thump, the old man's heart was beating loudly. "Please, my lord, please forgive me. I didn't mean to offend you." "I just wanted a rose for my youngest daughter," said he. "I don't care about that. And don't call me my lord. My name is Beast. That's what I am." Then the beast began to think. "You say you have a daughter, eh? You may go home, but you have to send me your daughter. If your daughter doesn't come here, I'll kill you and your whole family." The old man knew that the beast wasn't joking, but the merchant didn't plan to send his daughter. "Beast," the old man said, "I have a problem. I have no money to send her. Also, nobody else in my family works. Without her, the rest of my family will starve." "Don't you worry about that," said the beast. "Take some gold from my castle. I have lots of it. Give the gold to your family." The old man took a bag of gold with him and started walking home. When the old man arrived home, he was tired and very sad. The elder daughters looked at his face and sighed. They knew that something was wrong. "Let me guess, the last boat sank and we're still poor," said the eldest daughter. "Don't worry about money. We have lots of that," said the merchant. He opened his bag and gold fell out all over the floor. The elder daughters started filling their pockets. Beauty looked at her father and said, "I'm worried about you. You look so sad." "Actually, I'm sad because of this present," said the old man. He took out the rose and gave it to Beauty. Then he told his daughters the sad story about the beast, the castle, and the rose. The elder daughters didn't care about his story. They were happy playing with their gold. But Beauty couldn't stop crying. "Oh, this is awful! This is all my fault!" After a while, Beauty said quietly, "I'm going to go to the beast, father." Beauty's father looked at his daughter. "There is no choice," she said. "The beast will kill you and our whole family if I don't go." She looked determined. There was no use telling her not to go. Beauty always did what she said. Chapter 3. The beast is going to eat me. The next morning, Beauty left for the castle. She asked people for directions. The castle was very famous because it was the biggest one around. At sunset, she reached it. Beauty looked around the castle. Like her father, she saw nobody. She yelled, "Hello," but no one answered. She came in and saw a table with food on it. Beauty thought, "This beast must be trying to make me fatter. I think he's going to eat me." Beauty ate everything on the table. supper, she walked around the castle. There were the fine curtains and expensive carpets, but no people. She saw a library with thousands of books, but there were no people reading them. Then Beauty came to a door. On it was a sign that read, "Beauty's apartment." "Is this my room? Maybe he won't kill me. And how does he know my name?" she thought. Beauty opened the door and went inside. The girl was amazed by the room. It was filled with beautiful things. The room was as beautiful as Beauty. The girl was so happy to be there. She smiled and jumped on the bed. A golden book was lying on the bed. The title was Beauty's Book. She opened the book and read the first page. It read, "Welcome, Beauty. Don't worry about anything. No one will hurt you in this castle. You are the princess here. If you want anything, just say so. Invisible people will bring you what you want." "I want to see my poor father. He must be very sad." As soon as Beauty said this, a picture of her home appeared in a mirror in front of her. She saw her father sitting in his favorite chair. He looked so sad. She also saw her two sisters playing with gold. She thought, "He will learn to live without me soon. He'll be happy again." After a while, she fell asleep thinking about her family. Beauty spent the next day alone. In the evening, she sat down to a wonderful supper. When she picked up her knife and fork, she heard a gentle growl from behind her. "Beauty," said the Beast, "may I have supper with you?" "It is your castle," Beauty answered. "You can do what you want." "No," said the Beast. "You are the princess of this castle. You should decide. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable." "Oh, I don't know about that. Thank you for saying so," said the Beast shyly. "I will join you for supper." That evening, Beauty and the Beast sat down and ate together. They spent a long time talking. At the end of the evening, Beauty thought that the Beast was not so scary. Every evening, he would have supper with her. They talked about many things. But the Beast asked one thing every night. "How ugly am I?" Beauty always said, "Your heart is beautiful." She really felt that way. "I may be nice, but I am still a beast," he said. A strange thing happened. Beauty began to think that the Beast wasn't ugly at all. He seemed to become handsome to her. The Beast knew that Beauty never lied. He didn't believe that he was good-looking, but he did believe that Beauty saw something handsome inside him. The Beast felt a love for Beauty the first time that he saw her. The problem was that she couldn't love him. It is difficult to love an ugly beast, he thought. He often imagined that they were married. It wasn't very difficult. They slept under the same roof and ate the same food. Every evening they talked for hours, like a husband and wife. But there was one thing missing. Beauty didn't love him. Then one day he couldn't hide his feelings. "I love you, Beauty," he said. "Please marry me." She sat and looked at the Beast for a long time. "You are kind and gentle," said Beauty. "But you are a beast, and I can't imagine being married to a beast. I'm sorry." The Beast growled and ran away. He stayed at his room for a week after that night. Beauty had to eat dinner alone. Chapter 4. Don't Leave Me. A week later, the Beast returned to the dining room. He looked embarrassed and sad. "Beauty," he said, "I know that I am a beast, and I know that a beauty could never marry a beast. Please, I'll just ask one thing of you. I want you to stay with me here forever. Let's be friends. If you leave me, I'll be so lonely. I think I would die of sadness." Beauty looked at the ground and blushed. "I'm sorry, Beast," she said. "I must go back to my father. I saw him in the magical mirror yesterday. He is living alone. My sisters finally got married and left him. He needs someone to take care of him." "I understand you, Beauty. You are so kind," said the Beast. "I know that you have to be with your father, but I can't stay alone anymore. Go home for a week. I'll send lots of money to your house. Get a good servant for your father. The servant could take care of him. Then come back to me. If you don't come back, I will die of heartbreak," he said. "All right, Beast," said Beauty. "My father will be happy just to see me again." "Take this ring," the Beast said. "Wear it. When you want to come back to me, take the ring off before going to bed. In the morning, you'll wake up here in my castle." Beauty put the ring on and went to bed. In the morning, she woke up in her father's house. She saw a box in the corner of the room. It was full of gold and beautiful dresses. The dresses were made of jewels and silver. Beauty knew that these were presents from the Beast. "Thank you, Beast," she said to herself. When the lonely old merchant saw Beauty, he began to cry. His tears were tears of joy. "You are a gift from heaven," he said. "I thought the Beast ate you." The merchant hugged his daughter for a long time. They were so happy. A few days later, her sisters came with their husbands. They were married to rich and handsome men, but they didn't look happy. This was because of their husbands. When Beauty saw these men, she began to think a lot about the Beast. They were handsome, and he was ugly. They were boring, and the Beast was interesting. They were mean, and the Beast was kind. They were stingy, and the Beast was generous. They made their wives feel sad, but the Beast made Beauty feel happy. As Beauty thought about the Beast, she smiled. Beauty realized at that very moment that she loved the Beast. The middle sister saw the smile and became very angry. "She looks happy, but I'm so sad. I can't stand this. I wish she were dead." "I have a plan," said the middle sister to the eldest. "Let's keep Beauty here longer than a week. Then the Beast will become very angry. He'll eat Beauty when she goes back to the castle." The eldest sister agreed. She was always jealous because Beauty was more beautiful. "Let's be really nice to her. Then she won't want to leave," said the eldest. For a few days, the elder sisters were very nice to Beauty. They brought her gifts. They worked around their father's house. They said nice things to her. "Poor Beauty," said the eldest. "You work so hard. You should take a rest." On the 6th day, Beauty went to town and hired a good servant. That evening, Beauty came back home with the woman. "I hired a good servant for you, Father. She'll take good care of you. I'll say goodbye to all of you now." Then the elder sister started to cry. "Oh, you can't leave us," said the middle sister. "We're just getting to really know you. I want to talk to you some more." "Please, please," said the eldest. "Stay for one more week." Beauty couldn't stand to see them sad. "All right," she said. "I'll stay for just one more week." Chapter 5. I Love You, Beast. A few evenings later, Beauty had a terrible dream. In the dream, she walked around the castle and looked for the Beast. There was nobody there. She called his name, but she didn't hear an answer. Nearby the castle, she heard a noise. When she walked toward the noise, she found the Beast. He was lying on the ground. "Oh, Beast, please don't die," she cried. "I am so ugly, aren't I?" he growled. "You could never love a beast like me." Then the Beast died in her arms. Beauty woke up and jumped out of bed. "What am I doing? I'm killing my poor Beast. I must go to the Beast right now and marry him." Beauty wrote a goodbye letter to her father. Then she took off her ring and fell asleep again. In the morning, Beauty woke up in the castle. She walked around and looked for the Beast. He was not anywhere. She thought that he would appear at the dinner table as usual. Tonight, I'll tell him that I'll marry him. That evening, Beauty made herself beautiful. At dinner time, she didn't see any food magically appear. The Beast didn't come to dinner either. Then Beauty thought, maybe he's dead. Maybe he died when I didn't come back to him. Maybe he couldn't live any longer because I wouldn't marry him. Beast! Beast! She called out, but there was no answer. Then she remembered the place where she found the Beast in her dream. She ran there very quickly. She found the Beast lying in the garden. Just like in her dream, he seemed to be dying. Beast! She cried. You can't die. You must live with me and be my husband. Please marry me. Then Beauty bent over the dying creature and held him in her arms. Then she kissed the hairy beast's cheek. At that moment, she saw a bright flash of light. In a moment, Beauty found herself inside the castle. The room was filled with flowers. Next to Beauty was a very handsome man. He was dressed like a prince. She was very confused. What's going on here? Where's my dear Beast? I am your Beast, sweet Beauty, the prince said. A long time ago, an evil witch cast a spell on me. She changed me into a beast. She said that I would never change or grow old until a beautiful woman agreed to marry me. I lived by myself for hundreds of years. When you came to my place, I felt happy for the first time in centuries. But when you said you wouldn't marry me, I felt like I would die. Then you came back and said you would marry me. You saved my life, and you changed me back to my natural form. I owe you everything, dear Beauty, and I love you very much. At that moment, a good witch appeared and said to them, I'm glad to see you're looking so handsome again, sir. Beauty, you finally met a beautiful person like you. Truly, you are the most handsome couple in the whole world. I will marry you today, and I will give you happiness for the rest of your lives. I will bring you many happy and beautiful children too. From that day, Beauty and her prince were always happy. They continued having their long talks in the evenings, and when their children were born, the halls of the castle were filled with children's laughter.